Good evening and a warm welcome to one and all. So we are so happy to be gathered here for yet another one more program on SDGs, basically focusing on the targets of COP 2030 and SDG 2030. As we all know, SDGs is a collection of ambitious and interrelated targets that aim to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges, including the poverty, inequality, climatic change, and environmental degradation. They are designed to be universal, meaning that they apply to all countries and all people, regardless of their level of development. So on that note, G20 International One Planet Cabinet has come up with this initiative of keeping 5 Ps, that is people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership as their vision, and the 17 SDGs as their mission, to talk about targets, that SDGs, and also the parameters of COP 2030. So moving ahead, this is the 5th week that we are talking. We are meeting again on this platform, and today exclusively we are here to talk about biodiversity. Not just as biodiversity, but we mean to call it as our strong natural defense against climatic change, World Heritage No-Go commitment. Through the conversation, we all will come to know, and so many contributions are going to come from different parts of the globe. As we embark on this journey to know more about, to reflect on the key areas of deliberations that will include our conversation, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming our community partners, GSFN, Global Sustainable Futures, IAU, International Internship University, IGEN, the Institution of Green Engineers, University of Creativity and Research and Development, Good Vision Seva Trust, IGEN Global, Amity University Dubai, Sairam Group and their colleges, Easwari College of Engineering and also Sairam College of Engineering, Sairam Group of Institutions, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Eshwar College of Engineering, St. Xavier's College of Engineering, JNN Institute of Engineering, GRACIAS Legacy Foundation, Global Foundation for Peace, and Universal Human Values, and last but not the least, the Greenbrigade. Without these people's support, we will not be here. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the support that you have extended to us in making this grand success. Well, coming to today's talk, today's highlight, please allow me to introduce the topic for today. As we know, the biodiversity refers to the variety of different species of plants and animals and microorganisms that live in the ecosystem on the earth as a whole. And it includes the genetic diversity of each species and the variety of ecosystems and the interactions between these species and their environment. Normally, when we talk about biodiversity, it comes under 4 different cadres, that is species diversity, genetic diversity, ecosystem diversity, and functional diversity. And what is the importance of this biodiversity is that it protects the ecosystem services, food security, medicine, and the recreation and tourism as well. But there are some threats to this biodiversity, which is going to be the core conversation for today. That is habitat destruction, overexploitation, climatic change, and the pollution. All those deliberations which we are going to highlight on this platform today are going to give answers for all these threats that we're talking about, and also lead us to the conservation efforts of protected areas, sustainable practices involved, ecological restoration measures that are being there, and also contributing to the education awareness. So definitely the biodiversity is a strong natural defense against climatic change, and the World Heritage of No-Go commitment are the 2 initiatives aimed in protecting biodiversity and mitigating climatic change. So on that note, please put your hands together once again to welcome the chief guest for the day, Ms. Dr. Professor Jelena Bošković. Dr. Professor Jelena Bošković is going to deliver is the guest speaker who's going to deliver the keynote opening. And Madam is an academician from IRASA, professor, where she is a PhD advisor to the president of Belgrade Metropolitan University, Serbia. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good morning, good day, good evening, respected Dr. Srividhya Sukumar, scientists, university professors, experts, ladies and gentlemen. I hold special thanks for the invitation, Dr. Srividhya Sukumar, to be guest speaker, and I extend my warm regards to organizer of the important topic, biodiversity. Today, my topic, global impact of climate change on biodiversity and extinction. The topic is part of the results of the project Environmental Issue, Bioeconomy and Analysis of the Possibility of the Production of Health-Safe Food in AP Vojvodina, financed in the Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Development of Republic of Serbia. Problem is big human population biodiversity in the world. Humanity has been given a challenge, first of all, for humanity of rule, and from that everything comes. Climate change is happening due to natural factor and human activity, in expressly other biodiversity, agriculture production, and the food security. Mentioned Norway adapted an epidemic species and other extension. According concern, our species extension are warranted is provided food for all life form and primary health care more than 16-18% of human globally. Nevertheless, the impact of climate change on biodiversity and food security has been recognized. Little is explored compared on biodiversity and food security has been recognized. Therefore, the objective is this review, my lecture, are to identify, appraise and synthesize the link between climate change, biodiversity, and food security. Data, climate model, emission, migration, and extinction scenario, and output from previous publication were used. When environmental variation occur on the time scale shorter than the life of the plant, and response could be termed a plastic phenotype. However, phenotype plasticity could be buffer species against the long-term effect of climate change. Furthermore, climate change affects food security, particularly its component and location in the pond or rain-fed agriculture. Crop and plants have threshold behind which growth and yield are compromised. Accordingly, agriculture yield in Africa alone could be declined by more than 30% in 2015 years. Therefore, solving food shortage through beginning extra land in agriculture and exporting a new fish stock as a cost-effective solution. When protecting biodiversity, traditional ecological knowledge could decrease future biodiversity loss and meet food security under climate change scenario. However, achieving food security under such scenario requires strong policy, realizing high-yielding food, stress-resistant variety development, climate realized irrigation, structure, and agriculture. Important for biodiversity in the earth. Adaptation, conservation, ecosystem extension, climate change, biodiversity. The project study developed the following fragments are relevant of this topic. State of global biodiversity. Impact of climate change on biodiversity. Climate change driving species rank shift. Climate change driving mitigation, gene flow, and habitat fragmentation. Special gene flow is interesting. Genetic modify plants, modify crops. Effect of climate change and food security. Challenge and option of feeding the future a changing climate and biodiversity loss. Acclimatization, adoption, and migration measure of changing climate. Recommendation of global impact of climate change on biodiversity and extinction. Climate define is the average weather condition characterized by long-term statistical and meteorological climate in a given area. While climate change, abbreviation CCC, is described as the change in the climate of an area, results anthropogenic and natural disorders such as a depletion of the ozone layer and the greenhouse effects. It may result from factors such as a change in solar emission, long-term changes in the Earth orbital element, ability of the ecliptic, the precession in the equinox is an example, Thailand and Myanmar. Natural process and human forcing on a planet. So, CC is due alternation external forcing natural factor, human activity, future projection. Consider the influence only anthropogenic increase in greenhouse and other human-related forces. Example war Ukraine and Gaza. Therefore, the 20th and 20th century exponential the strongest warming trend on the last millennium with the average temperature rising by about 0.6 Celsius. However, future temperature rise likely predicated between 0.1 and 2 Celsius per decades. Biodiversity, agriculture production, and food security are predicted to after especially the response and change future climate globality. Is very, very interesting is extension of biodiversity in the plants, animal, and much mutation bacteria in climate change. State of global biodiversity. The term global biodiversity or diversity is defined the change ability between extinct created from the basis counting inter alia, terrestrial, marine, and other aquatic ecosystem and the ecological multiplex, which part comprise between species and of ecosystem. Is my topic lecture is complex in the part is a project. Biodiversity and food and interactive linkage and implication. Biodiversity ecosystem and biodiversity are critical from survival of the world food. I can provide food for human, animals, and life form. It is a foundation food industry and related. I have 10 minutes in my conclusion. This lecture in important international conference organizer. Thank you very much for invitation. I'm Professor Genetics, Plant Breeding, Biodiversity, Biotechnology, Sustainable Development. I much work. Thank you very much, dear colleague, dear expert, university professor, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for organizing important conference. Biodiversity. Biodiversity is important. All the world, human, animal, plants, microorganisms. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Professor Jelena. That was a wonderful start indeed. Well, as we all know, we are so passionate about, and we have this only one planet. There is no planet B. So let's embrace all our collective responsibility to restore and protect this incredible planet that we have. So on that note, we are not alone. Definitely, we are not alone. We are joined with eminent speakers who are going to really talk upon this particular topic, that biodiversity, our strongest natural defense against climatic change. That's World Heritage with no-go commitment. On that, we are going to deliberate on 8 different pointers today. That is Convention on Biological Diversity, that is CBD, which is being started, which is going to be, the keynote is going to be from Sri Pradeep Mohapatra, who is yet to join us. He'll be joining us very soon. and who will be followed by Dr. J. Arun Kumar. Welcome, sir. Ms. Karishma and SM. Thank you, ma'am. And followed by Convention of Migratory Species is open to the floor. Anybody who would like to contribute on that, we open it and we can include that speaker later on. Ramsar Convention, which will be deliberated by Dr. Seva Manogoran, sir. Thank you, sir. He is joined from Sairam. Dr. Fräulein Mobo and student Akil Menon is going to join us on this topic. Fourthly, like an International Planet Protection Convention, IPPC. That's again left to the floor. Nobody has opted for it yet. So if there is anybody who is interested, can take up that topic as well. Number 5 is again so dear to all. That's Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora Sites. So which will be deliberated by Mr. Premnath Babu. Welcome, sir. And sixthly, number 6 is International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. We have 2 eminent speakers who are joining on the same topic, Dr. Tanuja Balasubramaniam, Dr. Shubha, and Dr. Venkat Reddy Umari. So all the 3 speakers are going to deliberate on that particular topic. Number 7 is International Whaling Commission, IWC. Number 8 is again Biodiversity Liaison Group, which will be the closing note by Honorable His Excellency Professor Charles Eboria. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. So moving on to the session, please allow me to welcome the youngest moderator, youngest host for today. The youngest person who has joined us on this platform is Vidula. Ms. Vidula is a student of Sairam Engineering College, who has joined her guru, her mentor, Dr. Tanuja Balasubramaniam. Thanks, Sairam Engineering College, for that excellent support that you're extending. And I have no words. I'm really running short of words when it's coming to really mentioning about Sairam Engineering College on this platform. Consistently, they have been extending their valuable, most wonderful support through and through, right from start to the stop, till this day, this moment. So on that note, please, let's all put our hands together to welcome Vidula.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. We'll go ahead with our first speaker, Mr. Mobo, Fräulein Mobo, Professor Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Fräulein Mobo.
It is a great pleasure to introduce Professor Dr. Fräulein Mobo, a renowned academic and researcher specializing in education, cultural studies, and artificial intelligence. He currently serves as a director for research at English's LLL International and as an impressive portfolio of Scopus Index publications. His work delves into indigenous entities, AI, and metaverse shaping global academic discussions. Today, Dr. Mobo will speak on the Ramsar Convention and innovative research, shedding light on how scientific advancements and policy-driven conservation efforts can ensure the protection of wetlands worldwide. His insights will brighten technology, environmental sustainability, and research innovation. Please, sir.
Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and respected panelists, of course, it's an honor to stand before you today at this conference, Confluence, which we unite to discuss one of the most pressing global challenges, biodiversity conservation as our strongest natural defense against climate change. The theme of our conference, of course, underscores the critical role that innovation, of course, plays in protecting and restoring our planet's ecosystems. As we navigate the complexities of climate change, it is evident that traditional conservation methods alone will not be sufficient. We must embrace technological advancement to innovate strategies to ensure sustainable biodiversity management. Today, I would like to highlight several key innovations shaping our collective response to biodiversity loss and climate resilience. Of course, first one is AI, geospatial technology and biodiversity monitoring, which can revolutionize the part of doing a lot of things, such as allow scientists to track deforestation, wildlife movements, and ecosystem changes in real time. And second is smart ecological restoration projects, which is one of the most promising development in the use of drone technologies for large-scale afforestation and reforestation projects, which is drones equipped with seed dispersal systems that can plant thousands of trees in minutes, which can accelerate ecological restoration in deforested regions. Third is digital twin technology for ecosystem simulation, which can create a virtual model for real-world ecosystems that can emerge a transformative tool in biodiversity conservation. Fourth, a sustainable agriculture and biodiversity preservation with the increasing threat of habitat destruction due to agricultural expansion, innovative approaches such as agroforestry, vertical farming, and regenerative agriculture, which are being implemented to ensure food security while preserving biodiversity. And of course, blockchain for transparent and ethical conservation funding, which is also part of conservation that can finance and ensures the funds allocated for this project, which is used efficiently and ethically, that can reduce corruption and improving accountability in environmental initiatives. Then next, it can also part of the community-driven conservation with citizen science, which can create more mobile applications and digital platforms that can allow individuals to report wildlife sightings. And of course, policy innovations that must be supported by policy innovations by other NGOs that could be able to ensure that this vital ecosystem remains untouched by harmful industrial activities. Of course, in conclusion, it is not merely an option, it is unnecessary in our fight against climate change and biodiversity loss. By integrating cutting-edge technologies, community engagement, and policy advancement, we can build a sustainable future where nature and human coexist harmoniously. As we move forward, let us commit to collaborative efforts that drive transformative change and uphold our shared responsibility to protect our planet. Thank you and good evening, everyone. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. That was quite insightful inputs that you have shared. Well, as Dr. Mobo was mentioning, wetlands and vital ecosystem that supports biodiversity are the key takeaways that we take from him. And yes, we need to consider how we can elevate global awareness and action for their conservation. So that's a question mark that he has left. So what are efforts that people can put in, like on moving further on this further topic, like we will come to know. So moving to that, we will move on to the next speaker. Yes, Mridula, can you welcome the next speaker on board, please? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Doctor. It was nice having you. Thanks for those inputs. Thank you. Mridula, please.
Yes, ma'am. Now, it's a privilege to introduce Dr. Arun Kumar, an esteemed leader in innovation and entrepreneurship, currently serving as the Dean of Innovation and Entrepreneurship and CEO of Ben's Emerge Technology Foundation. Today, he will speak on the importance of biodiversity, highlighting its role in ecological balance, food security, and sustainability. He will discuss biodiversity at 3 levels: genetic, species, and ecosystem diversity, and address threats like deforestation, pollution, and climate change. He will also emphasize conservation efforts, sustainable practices, and global agreements like the Convention on Biological Diversity. With his expertise in environmental biotechnology and entrepreneurship, Dr. Arun Kumar's insights will be valuable. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Arun Kumar. Please, sir.
Dr. Arun Kumar, my sincere apologies. I'm sorry. The guest has joined just now.
Yes,
Dr. Kabir, we'll just have some time with Dr. Kabir and then we'll move ahead. Dr. Kabir, thanks for joining us.
pleasure. My pleasure, Dr. Srividhya. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for giving your time during this time, basically like during Eid. He has made his presence amidst us today. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's always a greatest pleasure of having you amidst us, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Kabir, you can unmute yourself and you can address the audience.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. It's my great pleasure to be the part of this G20 International virtual event. And my great wishes for everybody, whoever is in the list today on the virtual meeting, and my support as usual and always for our sister, Dr. Srividhya. And inshallah, I wish to meet everybody in person. And so I invite you all to United Arab Emirates to come to our office in Dubai and Inshallah, we'll meet. Thank you, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. I will listen what's going on. Yalla, shukran. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kabir. That was a really greatest presence amidst the kind support and guidance and also encouragement that you have been giving us. And as you all know, as everybody knows, that this is a platform for collaboration. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is a process, working together is success. So let's all work together with Dr. Kabir and his office. You can get connected with him directly, and he's always there as a pillar of support for us, extending any kind of support for anybody from any corner of the world. He's always there as a person who is extending any kind of guidance, and also in the sense, if you want to start your business, he's there to guide you. If you want to anything and everything, that he'll be able to guide you, and you can collaborate with him. Thank you, sir. Thanks for having your presence amidst us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, my pleasure, Srividhya. Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Dr. Arun.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Now.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Can you enable the share option, ma'am?
Yes, sir. You can start sharing your screen.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Preeta will be summarizing your report.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kapilan. Your screen is loading, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
We're able to see your screen. Yes. Maybe you'll have to
Yes,
go
ma'am.
presentation mode. Yes. All good to go, sir? Please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So it's really a great pleasure to have a discussion and then convey my my involvement and our university's involvement towards the biodiversity. So myself, I'm Dr. J. Arun Kumar, and we are working on, basically I'm an environmental biotechnologist, now turned up into Dean for Innovation, and then heading startups at MGR. So it's a great pleasure, that we are also moving towards, sustainability and then SDG goals. We have a lot of clubs related to SDG goals like iGen, and our startups also worked on the SDG goals, and we have categorized them related. And basically, what is the core intrinsic value of biodiversity? Like everybody is getting aware of is on ecosystem services and genetic resources, and the value related to that. And what is the major threats to biodiversity is what the entire summit is all about. Like we are with the entire discussion that we are doing currently on to related to include all the species rich area, biodiversity rich areas, because of the habitat destruction due to the agriculture and urbanization, deforestation, and climate change and pollution. Like these are all common factors, but I'll go through. Let us focus on like what as an individual we can do, what as an institution we can do, what as an all the stakeholders of biodiversity, what we can do about it. So we're talking about economic growth and biodiversity loss, and deforestation and infrastructure is a major role. And what is the future? We call it indicators. There is always an indicator species, because nature always gives us a ways to understand where the pollution is happening and when it is happening, and what we can do about something about it. So there is always a future of in the biodiversity indicators. One is on AI. Yes, advancements of AI, we have to accept it, and then excellent monitoring tools and data collections are available. And in DNA level, yes, new indicators, capture of genetic diversity can be done through that. And then local, I'll come to that interesting topic, that local, what we can do about it, because integrating our indigenous knowledge and community-based monitoring, what we can do about it. So these are the biodiversity, SDG goals, which is specific, like, focused on biodiversity, life on land, life below water, and climate action, which includes ocean and everything. So almost all the, biodiversity goals we need to focus on. But when it comes to what are the strategies for growth and green, that is so important. So what are those in the sense? Sustainable agriculture, number one. So from the soil management, water conservation, and then livestock farming, and then reducing chemical inputs, how real organic, sometimes eco products also. There is so many kind of different thing is happening. So you need to understand what is the real, organic products which can be done. And then in green infrastructure, urban green spaces, and then sustainable water management, energy efficient buildings, all these things, circular economy, like design out the waste and how we can, regenerate the nature is what's so important in the circular economy. We are using that for startups too. We have a huge number of startups working on the circular economy, producing the products. We have one of the successful startups, which is on Origin Stripe. They are making, different kind of eco-friendly products. So we have seen this. Some of the case studies are there, like number one, Costa Rica, because of they are implementing the payment for environmental services program, which is so successful. And then in Bhutan, they are making, ecotourism, which is so great. And in Germany, significant financial commitment for biodiversity conservation. All the countries are taking steps, but is it sufficient? What we can do, because we can avoid, it's a prophylactic activity is what we need to think about, because we have a list of endangered species which is there, but still, if you do more and more towards greener environment, all these things you can avoid. So the role of policy and regulation, one is the protected areas. We all know about biodiversity hotspot. Because of the species richness, it has been announced. In India, we have around 4 biodiversity hotspots. But as an individual, we need to think about, we can find out more than 4,000, not a hotspot, but our own hotspots. We know, 1 gram of soil has millions of microbes in it. So we have to, choose a place, and we have to monitor the place, the species richness of the place, flora and fauna, bird species, invertebrates, vertebrates. We ourselves has to be converted into an indicator. When you go and sit in the particular place and then witness all these species, and then that and you can, over a period of time, you can notice what is the changes which is happening, why the change is happening. Is it because of any kind of air pollution or industrial waste pollution? So you will witness the biodiversity, once you witness the species richness. And then once you witness that, you will witness the biodiversity loss also. So these are all environment impact assessment, carbon pricing, and then international agreement. We need to go through every amendments, and we need to find out which one is, we can good off. So the future of biodiversity is all about, technological innovation. AI plays a key role. Consumer behavior, what we can do about it. Increasing awareness. Like, for example, here, you need to have an awareness of real eco-friendly products, because, many of them think paper cup that we use, it is made of completely paper, but inside it's polyurethane coat is there. So we need to understand what is a real sustainable products, what we can do about it. So are we ready for that? Okay, as a citizen, we need to understand a particular place, and we need to validate the species richness over there. Everybody is responsible. You just go and observe it. Invariably, of your core competence, we all has to join our hands together, and then we have to work for that. So a call for action is 100% action is needed for the no-go commitment. It ensures no industrial activities such as mining, deforestation, large-scale infrastructure projects are prohibited in UNESCO listed natural sites. So all these things are so important. And one take-home message that everybody can have is, you go and you pick your hotspot today, so that you observe for a long period of time all the species richness. Invariably in MJ University, yes, we do have a tie-up with IIT and the nearby institutes. We are taking up a project, and then we are just observing a selected lake about all the species richness over there. And then we are working on it, what we can do about it. So this is a great opportunity for such esteemed forum, looking out for the importance of biodiversity. So it's really a great thing. So everybody, let us join our hands together to make a good improvement in the biodiversity species richness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. J. Arun Kumar sir. And I'm so happy to see Arun Kumar sir in this forum, since we work together. And he was the right person to talk on the biodiversity, as he is basically a professor from biotechnology. And his talk was an explosion of the biodiversity, how to the strategies to adopt then the future of the biotechnology, and he has thrown light and insights on AI, DNA, and local, and how the biodiversity is well connected with SDG goals and SDG 15, SDG 14, and SDG 13. And then he spoke on the circular economy, then the role of policies and regulations. And at last, he had given a right conclusion as join us the hands together to work for the growth and the green economy and the green ecosystem. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arun Kumar, sir. That was indeed a wonderful start. Indeed. I was thinking that such a beautiful topic and we are not able to catch the spirit of it, the heat of it. I was just thinking. And yours was really what to say, Donika Chakka. Really, that was beautiful. That all those insights are very keen notes that we are taking today. As you rightly mentioned, it laid out the convention for the biological diversity. That is, which is the actual topic, which is your topic, your highlight is CBD.
Ma'am, biodiversity is much spoken about and less done about, but we are happy that we are doing the less done about part. Yes, ma'am.
Very true. Actually, it was an international treaty, that aims to conserve and with the sustainable use of the world's biological resources that are present. And this has been signed by 196 nations. And it is one of the most widely ratified international agreements on three main objectives, which you had really taken it up, like conservation of the biological diversity, and also with fair, equitable sharing of benefits. That's a very key note, sir. And including the protocols, with all the protocol of biosafety and also the access of benefit of sharing when it comes to the IT knowledge. And we all know that what all data handling things which are come up with the AI. So thanks for that. And with I think you have covered almost every point of it, with the importance of indigenous knowledge and traditional practices which are involved in conserving the biodiversity. And definitely, CBD plays a very crucial role in promoting the sustainable development and conserving the world's biodiversity. Thank you, sir. And last but not the least, the most favorite part of it, as you rightly said, please go out to the nature and as a bird watcher, go watch the birds and the species. We also can become Salim Ali. The bird watcher, the world famous bird watcher. His hobby was bird watching, and later he became ornithologist. That is, the bird watching became his profession. Then he became ornithologist. Thanks for just mentioning it, sir. It was a fabulous shot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving ahead, can we invite Ms. Karishma, please?
It is a great honor introducing Karishma, a dynamic final year BE Computer and Communication Engineering student at Sri Eshwar College of Engineering. With a strong foundation in AI, machine learning, and software development, she has not only excelled in academics, but also made a significant contributions as mentor, leader, and a researcher. Today, she will delve into the global impact of biodiversity, exploring how human activities threaten ecological balance and the role of international agreements like the Convention on Biological Diversity in preserving our planet. Her insights will emphasize sustainable conservation, habitat restoration, and the critical need for global collaboration. Please join me in welcoming Karishma.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all present in the conference. I'm very glad that I'm being a part in this conference, contributing something as much I can to this country and to the world. So today, my point of deliberation addressing biodiversity is that a CBD, which is Convention on Biological Diversity, and I would like to thank Dr. Srividhya and Dr. Arun, who made my work a little bit easy, as they have given a quick definition on what I'm going to talk. So let me share a presentation to address my points.
Yes, I think you should be able to do it, Ms. Karishma.
Yes, ma'am.
Your screen is visible. Just that you need to go on to the presentation.
Yes.
There you are, all set to go.
So, first delving into what CBD is, we must understand what biodiversity is. So it is to the variety of lives on Earth, which includes species of different kind of species of plants, animals, and all the microorganisms live on the Earth, as well as the ecosystem they form and the genetic diversity within them. So this biodiversity is very essential for us to have maintained ecological balance and supporting the food security and to provide the natural resources for human survival. And it also serves as a crucial natural defense against climatic change. And after that, we also must know what is World Heritage No-Go commitment. So it is actually an international consensus which was introduced for prohibiting the industrial activities such as mining or oil exploration within World Heritage sites, which should be conserved. And then this commitment actually aims in protecting the biodiversity-rich areas from human activities such as degradation, and thereby it preserves their role in the climatic change mitigation. So one of such activities is that in COP16 Biodiversity Summit, the global leaders, they have addressed the interconnectedness of climatic change and biodiversity loss, as they advocate the policies that simultaneously address both the climatic change as well as biodiversity loss. So for this, they have I have an image illustrating how the biodiversity loss actually is happening as year passes. So in you can see in the historical region we have a lot of plants, animals, organism, and as the year passes, as our business is in the same condition, we cannot conserve our organisms' survival on this earth. So by taking different methods, by increasing the conservation efforts, and along with that, with sustainable production and consumption, we can get back our old stage of what we have in historical time. So we can thereby conserve the biodiversity. And then this image illustrates by how the mammals lost their habitat due to the climatic change, like in the rise in the temperature. So if you can see that by rise of 1.5 degrees Celsius of temperature, it may lead of 4% of mammals losing their half of their habitats, and by rise of 2 degrees Celsius, almost almost 8% of mammals lost their half of their habitat, and by 3 degrees Celsius of temperature rise, 41% of mammals have lost their life, half of their habitat, which must be addressed and mitigated as soon as possible before we lose a lot of endangered species. So for this, a treaty was signed, as Dr. Srividhya have addressed previously, to conserve biodiversity. So what is CBD? CBD, which is a Convention on Biological Diversity, is actually an international treaty which was signed aiming in conserving biodiversity and promoting sustainable use of biological resources for ensuring the benefits, for ensuring fair sharing of benefits arising from genetics. So as ma'am told, there is 196 parties of different countries came together to sign this treaty, and so it is most widely adopted environmental agreement. And we also must know who initiated this treaty. So it was initiated by United Nations Environment Program as in response following the concerns for the biodiversity loss. So this treaty was negotiated and adopted during the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which was famously called as Rio Earth Summit in 1992. But it was actually put into the action by the year of 1993. Now, let's delve into what are the main objectives of CBD. So this is also have been addressed by Dr. Srividhya. That is conservation of biological diversity by protecting ecosystems, species, and genetic diversity, and sustainable use of biodiversity by ensuring the natural resources are used responsibly, and then fair and equitable sharing of benefits that we derive from different natural resources and organisms. And then what are the plans that have been planned by CBD in conserving biodiversity? This include achieving the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, which was signed on 2022, which includes 30x30 goal, which is nothing but protecting 30% of planet's land and oceans by 2030. This is the 30x30 goal. And restoring 30% of degraded ecosystem, and also by reducing biodiversity loss just by integrating conservation into economic and developmental policies. And then for these plans, what are the implementation strategies? So in this, it includes that country must develop NBSAPs, that is National Biodiversity Strategies and Action Plans, to meet CBD goals. And also, government must integrate biodiversity conservation into various fields such as agriculture, fisheries, forestry, and urban planning. And then it also must encourage public and private partnerships and prohibit anti-poaching laws and provide severe punishment for such activities. And also by integrating scientific research, AI, and satellite monitoring to track biodiversity changes. So these are the implementation strategies of CBD. And we also must know what are the achievements that are achieved by CBD so far. So in that, they have done an establishment of the Global Biodiversity Framework, which sets targets for biodiversity conservation, which is very crucial to attain the goal, because if there is a goal only, we can work on it. And then creation of protected areas covering 17% of land and 10% of ocean globally. And also they have implemented Nagoya Protocol by 2010 for benefit sharing. And then production of Cartagena Protocol, which was signed in 2003 for biosafety in genetically modified organisms. And also, how can we improve CBD effectiveness? Even though if we have such kind of achievements, we also must improve the effectiveness of CBD, as we still live in the loss of biodiversity. It is still improving, but this plans must be enhanced so that we can have a great improvement. So by strengthening the global corporations to enforce biodiversity conservation laws, and also by increasing the funding for biodiversity research and conservation programs, and improving the community involvement, and also having enhanced technology-driven solutions such as AI-powered biodiversity tracking systems, and also encouraging the corporate responsibility for unsustainable business practices would help us to improve the effectiveness of CBD drastically. And also to expand the protected areas is essential, as we are in need of saving a lot of organisms which are in endangered condition. And then, so what are the challenges that we could face while implementing CBD? So it is lack of global commitment, as some countries prioritize economic growth over conservation. So this is a major problem that we must address. And then insufficient funding, habitat destruction, like as we go through rapid urbanization, deforestation, and climatic change threatened by biodiversity. And also illegal wildlife trade, as we discussed in the previous slide, like poaching and trafficking the endangered species. And then lack of awareness, like we must give an education on how important the biodiversity and how it is aligned with the climatic change of the entire world. And so to face these challenges, what are the mitigation strategies that we could follow to overcome that? So some of them are policy enforcement, like following strict policies so that everyone must respect the policies and go in that way. And also by increasing the investment in conservation, and these steps must be taken by the government of different countries. and also by promoting ecotourism and green business models to fund conservation, and also by promoting technology and AI and integrating them into the biodiversity conservation strategies would help us greatly, and also enhancing the education and awareness programs at the global and local levels. So on conclusion, I would like to show this image, like how the ecosystems, climatic change and people work together can give a positive impact on conserving the biodiversity. And then on conclusion, I would like to say that CBD is one of the best international treaty that plays a fundamental role in climatic change and mitigation and adaptation by promoting ecosystem conservation and sustainable practices. So even though if we have a lot of challenges, we are finding some solutions for that. And I think for a safer and more climate resilient future, we must conserve the biodiversity. Thank you.
Thank you, Karishma. I understand Karishma is a final year biotechnology student, but you doesn't seem like that student. And we are sure that you will be reaching a global speaker very soon. And she started by confessing her strong desire to serve and protect the planet. And he deliberated on the topic, Convention on the Biological Diversity. And it was a very clear explanation. And she started from what is biodiversity. And from what is biodiversity, she explained what is no-go commitment. Then that pictorial representation on how the mammals and the climate change are related, it was wonderful. That 4%, 8%, 41% mammals lost their habitat due to the increase in the climatic change. It was a clear explanation how the mammals are suffering due to the climatic change. Then, and you have given the history of the Convention of the Biological Diversity and when it was signed, where it was signed, then the objectives of the conventional biodiversity, plans under the conventional biological diversity, implementation strategies, mitigation strategies, achievement of conventional biodiversity, then how to give more effect on the conventional biodiversity, then challenges in implementing the biodiversity. And towards the end, she has shown a pictorial representation on how the ecosystem, climate change, and the people are related together, and how the three climate change, ecosystem, and people can work together to make a positive impact. It was a wonderful explanation, Karishma. All the very best for you, Karishma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Vasanti ma'am, would you like to add on there anything to Karishma?
Yes, definitely. She did give a very, it was, I think I'm adding on to Dr. Preeta. She will become a good faculty member, I guess, to inspire the younger generation because she gave a very detailed and a very concise opinion and the way forward, the way we need to take things forward. Congratulations, Karishma, and all the very best to you.
Thank you. And Professor Charles has congratulated Karishma for her wonderful performance. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much. Professor Charles, thank you so much. So adding on to Karishma's the key takeaways, only I'm going to highlight on the key takeaways. Conservation of biological diversity is protecting ecosystems, species, and genetic resources. So highlighting on the sustainable use of the biological diversity, that is conservation, CBT, that we are talking about, ensure biological resources are used in a way that it maintains the health and productivity. And for being fair, for the equitable sharing of benefits, share the benefits of the genetic resources fairly and equitably among all countries and communities. So I would like to help Karishma on that. There are two protocols which has been released on this. That is Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety, regulates the transfer, handling, and the use of the genetically modified organisms, which is called as GMOs. In addition to this, Nagoya Protocol of Access and Benefit Sharing provides a framework for a fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources. So overall, with both the speakers, we conclude that CBD plays a very crucial role in promoting the sustainable development and conserving the world's biodiversity. Thank you so much. We are moving on to Ramsar Convention. We need to, yes, the next topic is Ramsar Convention. And we are joined here with Professor Seva Manogaran, sir. Welcome, sir. Dr. Seva Manogaran is an assistant professor who is representing Sairam Eshwari Engineering College. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would request Ms. Mridula to welcome Dr. Seva Manogaran, sir. Thank you.
I take this wonderful opportunity to introduce Dr. M. Seva, an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering at SRM Easwari Engineering College. With a PhD from IIT Madras and over 8 years of experience in academia and industry, Dr. Seva has made significant contributions to sustainable materials and lightweight concrete research with numerous SCI, Scopus, and UGC indexed publications to his name. Today, he will be sharing insights in the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, to protect and preserve wetlands. His talk will highlight the significance of wetlands in biodiversity conservation, climate change mitigation, and water cycle regulation, with a special focus on India's Ramsar sites. Let's extend a warm welcome to Mr. Seva.
Thank you, Dr. Srividhya and Vidula, for giving a brief introduction about me. Let me share my PPT first.
Please, sir, you should be able to share it. I think it is getting loaded.
Yeah.
Yes, it is getting loaded. But your video is visible. Yeah, we are able to view your screen. Yes, I think you can go ahead. Is it a slideshow mode? It's in the presentation mode. Please go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Slides are moving now? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Srividhya and the other chief guests and guest lecture speakers over here. So it's a great pleasure for me to share my insights in this G20 International One Planet Cabinet. And my topic of the talk is about the wetlands and their impacts on sustainable environment. So the wetlands, so people are not much aware of the wetlands. So we are talking about sustainability, we are talking about pollution, and we are thinking about steps to grow plantation and everything. But one of the important aspects of sustainable development is the wetland preservation. So let me give a brief introduction and talk about Ramsar Convention, which is an international treaty which is meant for the safeguard the wetlands all over the parts of the world. So my presentation goes with this. It starts with the introduction, wetland types, impact of wetland and on environment, and the Ramsar Convention, wetlands in India, and summary and conclusion. So coming to the introduction, so wetlands are the areas or places where you have water bodies available, where the plant and animal lives are existing. So as per Ramsar Convention, so if you have a water body up to a depth of 6 meters, it will be good for all the animals, humans, as well as the plants to grow well and to have a sustainable environment. Types. As per Ramsar Convention, there are 5 types of wetlands which are available. So first, starting with the marine wetland, which is the coastal wetlands, and coming to the estuary, it is a place where the river gets connected to the ocean. That is the marshlands which are available, or where the backwaters will be available. Those places are called estuarine wetlands. And you have lacustrine, where the lakes are available for the different species. And the riverine, that is a wetland which is available along the streams and the rivers. And palustrine, it is a marshy land where you have tall trees and you'll be having some stagnant water, marshy areas which are available. So we can classify the wetlands into these 5 categories. Okay. So coming to the wetland importance. So if you take any part of the world, we can able to see more water stagnation problem during the rainy season. So that may be because the exploitation of the wetlands which are available. So the water can't able to find ways to go into the ground. Because of that, we can see more kinds of water stagnation problem like this. So this is one of the implication of wetland. And the other things are the species. So most of these species are getting endangered, and more extinct of species is happening because of loss of wetlands. So in the name of urbanization, people started developing more infrastructure by exploiting the wetlands which are available without knowing its importance. So I will let me show you some importance about wetlands. So obviously, if we have more wetlands, we have plenty of areas for the rainwater to penetrate under the ground, and the flood can be controlled extensively. And coming to retain water during the dry period. So we all know, because of global warming, the temperature is going up. Since the temperature is going up, we are having more dry areas, which causes the water table to go down underneath, and we have to go underneath to get the potable water. That is very difficult thing which is happening all over the world. And if you have a good wetland setup, and obviously you can able to get more clean water, because if you take the profile of the wetland, you can able to see there are different filtration mediums are available. So once the water goes into the wetland, the different class of filtration will be happening under the ground, and under the depth of nearly some 50 feet, you can able to get some potable water. Okay, and you can able to remove the pollutants from the water also because of this filtration process. And people have a general perception that growing more trees will help to maintain the temperature and maintain the moisture in the atmosphere. But one of the research tells that if you have more wetlands and more paddy or different crop fields, so those green areas can able to reduce the temperature of the earth, and we can able to supply more moisture to the atmosphere, so that we can able to achieve or get the required rainfall during different parts of the world. That is a very important point people are not understanding. And reduce the soil erosion. So if you take different parts of the world, we can able to see more landslides problem. So these landslides are happening because of the name of urbanization. People are exploiting the natural resources in the hilly areas. Because of that, the soil is losing its strength, and different kinds of landslide is happening. So if people are intending or preserving the wetlands in the hilltop regions, obviously these wetlands able to provide a kind of reinforcement to the soil. It can strengthen the soil, and it can prevent the landslides which are happening in the different parts of the world. And obviously, as different speakers are told, we can able to maintain good biodiversity because of this wetland preservation, and it's a source of life for different plants and animals and different wildlife. So we can see in different parts of the world that all the wild elements are coming to the residential area for different like foodstuffs or water. That is because people started encroaching their areas, because of which they can't able to get required amount of food and water available in the forest areas. So which makes them to come to the residential areas and do the things. And this wetland importance, different countries throughout the globe, they are taking different steps to preserve the wetland things which are available. So there is a Ramsar Convention. It is an international treaty which was brought to bring all the national and international actions which are taken to preserve the environment, wetlands. Because different countries will be having different perception and different researches will be going on. So it is a forum where all the countries can come together and they can discuss about the steps which they have taken to preserve the wetlands. Nearly 172 countries were taking part in this, signed in this treaty. And in every year, they are coming together and they are discussing about different steps which they have taken. And they are telling like different sites which they have identified like wetlands. And as in India also, this year, India has identified 4 wetlands, and they have told to the Ramsar Convention as well. Okay. So Ramsar Conventions has given some selection criteria for choosing the wetlands. Okay, so some of the criteria are the unique wetlands. So to have an area or to call an area as a wetland, it should have the water bodies which is present, and biodiversity has to be maintained. like different species, like animals and plants, have to be used in that particular area and to maintain the biodiversity and waterfowl population. So we know that in different areas and different climatic conditions, more birds will be migrating from one area to other to maintain, to have a suitable environment for them. So this population to be maintained. So to maintain this population, we need to have different types of wetlands in and around our area, so that the birds which are migrating from other countries will have a fruitful environment for their growth. And fish and aquatic life. So we are talking about the land creatures. Also, we have to think about the fish and aquatic life. So those helps a lot for different carbon sequestration. So which indirectly help in reducing the global warming of the globe. And Ramsar has Ramsar sites. Nearly 2,186 sites have been identified throughout the globe as wetlands. And if you take the total area, it's nearly 20 crores, 84 lakhs, 49,277 acres of the land in the globe has been identified as wetlands until 2020. And pillars of Ramsar Convention or the ways of implementing the wetlands is. And what happening is you have to use different wise ways to implement or to preserve the existing wetlands. And if you have suitable area of wetlands, you are supposed to create the wetland environment for different birds and plants and animals. That is the important first point or first pillar of the Ramsar Convention. And second one is they insist different international countries to designate suitable wetlands or identify suitable wetlands in their area, so that if they down the line, like 10 years down the line, they can able to get more wetlands throughout the globe, and obviously we can able to reduce the global warming which is happening, right? And also can preserve the biodiversity. And if you have a wetland which is shared by different two different countries, so this treaty will help like to cooperate among themselves and to take necessary steps to preserve the wetland environment. And coming to India's contribution, so Ramsar has identified 2,400. Out of the 2,400 in India, we have nearly 89 Ramsar sites that have been identified. And this year, 4 Ramsar sites have been identified in Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, and Sikkim. And India is also contributing a lot in the preservation of the wetlands and the creation of new wetlands for stable environment. And to conclude my discussion, so I have taken this topic in order to give some awareness about the Ramsar Convention. So there are different more points that given in the Ramsar Convention Treaty. I can't cover all the things because of the time constraint. And overall, we can tell that wetland safeguarding is the primary motive of Ramsar Convention to ensure sustainable environment. And it also helps all the nations to collaborate. It is a forum for all the nations to collaborate and to safeguard the environment and wetland for the benefit of the people. So I take, on behalf of my institution, I thank the G20 International Planet thing for Cabinet for giving this opportunity for sharing my views regarding the wetland importance and Ramsar Convention. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Seva Manogaran, sir. And you have deliberated on wetlands and their impact on sustainable environment, Ramsar Convention, and your presentation started from what is wetland, types of wetland, importance of wetlands, how wetland is important to maintain the biodiversity, Ramsar Convention, how many countries have signed for the Ramsar Convention, and selection criteria of the Ramsar sites, to identify how water bodies are present, and to support the endangered species and support the flora and fauna of our planet, fish and aquatic life. And he has concluded the presentation with a quote that we have to use the wise use of the wetlands. And we have got the comment or message from a participant also. It was a wonderful presentation, and it was very interesting presentation. He mentioned it. Thank you, Dr. Seva Manogaran, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Preeta George, ma'am. That was a beautiful summary that you have just quoted there. And Seva Manogaran sir, he's the last speaker for Ramsar Convention. So thank you, sir. It was quite insightful, comprehensive presentation that you have given on Ramsar Convention. As you rightly said, it's an intergovernmental treaty which was adopted in 1971 in Ramsar era, part of Iran. So it is also known as the Convention of Wetlands of international importance, definitely, especially the wet fowl habitat, which they call it as. So the main thing of, as you really highlighted, what are the objectives is that conserve and manage the wetlands wisely and sustainably. So recognizing the importance of wetlands for biodiversity, ecosystem services, and not to miss in the mention, the human well-being. Well taken, sir, well noted. And to promote international cooperation of the wetland conservation, which is a highlight of your whole overall presentation. Thank you so much. With definitely not missing on the mention, the key provisions of wetland conservation, contracting parties, who are the stakeholders who will commit to conserve the manage the wetlands with Ramsar sites also in the mention, and also about transboundary cooperation, which will help to manage the wetlands with all the benefits of biodiversity conventions, conservations, and ecosystem with the current status, highlighting that contracting 172 countries who have ratified the convention on the Ramsar sites, over 2,400 sites covering more than 255 million hectares have been designated. So definitely this Ramsar Convention plays a vital role in promoting the conservation of the sustainable use of the wetlands worldwide. Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful presentation, really mind-blowing presentation with all the insights which were mentioned. And definitely, as we all know, in every walk with the nature, one receives far more than what he seeks. So what you put to the nature is coming back to us. It will come back to us. So let's hear to the nature's voice. So on that note, may we request, thank you, sir. It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you. On that note, may we request, I think our chief guest speaker has joined. The keynote speaker has joined. Mr. Pramod. Okay. Yes, left again. Okay. Maybe he has some internet connection, weak connection over there. So maybe request Ms. Vidula to welcome the next speaker. Please. Thank you.
It's a privilege to introduce Premnath Babu, a distinguished environmental consultant with over 14 years of experience in the UAE as an ISO 14064 certified greenhouse gas verifier and an expert in sustainability and environmental compliance. Is played a pivotal role in advancing global conservation efforts. Today, he will share his insights on the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora sites, which is a crucial international agreement that ensures wildlife trade does not threaten species survival. His expertise will shed light on the challenges and solutions in protecting endangered species through sustainable trade practices. Let's extend a warm welcome to Mr. Premnath Babu.
Good evening. Thank you. So it's nice to see you all again. The second session of my G20 Innovation on Planet Cabinet. It's thanks once again to Ms. Srividhya for giving the opportunity to speak into this forum. As Ms. Vidula said that, so I'm going to talk about the sites today. So I'll share my screen.
Welcome, Mr. Premnath.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Your screen is visible. It's loaded actually. So, yeah. Now, yes, it's in the presentation mode. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you. You're quite audible. And your video is also visible. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Today's topic is the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. So, shortly we call it as CITES. So, Ms. Vidula said that I'm Premnath Babu. So, I'm the environmental engineer. So basically, I'm from Unit Urban Rates. So we are doing the carbon footprint verifications as well as the consultancy on the Forest Stewardship Council, GRI, EcoVadis, and other sustainable like GRI and other products on that. So what is CITES? CITES is the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. It's an international agreement between governments. It's aimed to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten the survival of the species. So around 1973, it was started in 1975. Nearly 184 countries have signed the signatories. So from there onwards, we are implementing the CITES. CITES was established in 1973 to address the rapid decline of wildlife due to the international trade. The initial conference set the groundwork for the future cooperation among nations in protecting endangered species. So you can go to the website cites.org, so we can see that normally in our area, how we will use the CITES, I can say in that way. So when we are implementing the Forest Stewardship Council or program for the forest certifications, so we used to verify whether the endangered species are there in the product. So further we use the CITES to see them in the appendixes. So what is the objective of the CITES? So prevent over the exploration of the endangered species, ensure sustainable international trade, protect flora and fauna through international cooperation. So sustainable trade practices, as I said, so when you are buying any product, from the forest or from the area where it is cultivated, from it reach to the end consumer. So in between, the organization will implement the requirements of standards. At the time, they will verify whether these products are not coming from the endangered species, like there is no risk of extinctions. Example, so normally in the commercial name, we used to call it as a Burma teak, or rosewood and all, so our sandalwoods. So these are the endangered species we should not use commercially in the products. So when it comes into the products, we used to refuse them. During the audit, when we found that, we used to raise the concerns over that. The CITES encourages countries to develop sustainable trade practices that allow for the responsible use of the natural resources, combining economic growth with the environmental stewardship to protect biodiversity. So when you go to the site, so you can see the three topics over there. So one is the appendix 1, 2, as well as 3. So in the appendix 1, it mentioned about the endangered species. So the list of species that are threatened with extinction and are prohibited from the international trade, thereby surveying the survival through strict protection measures. The second is the spatial risk. So where it is available still, but in future, if we keep on using all that, we cannot be able to get in the future. The appendix includes species that are not currently threatened with extinction that may become so without careful regulation to international trade, allowing sustainable use of resources. 3 is the species protected in specific countries, in specific areas. So there are some species out there where it is available only in those areas. So we have to protect that. So contains species that are exported in at least one country and requires the cooperation of CITES member states to regulate that trade effectively. So example, how we are implementing that. Example, there are many standards are available like Forest Stewardship Council, Program for the Endorsement of Forest Certifications. If you take Indian Forest Certification, the National Forest Conservation and other. So each and every country have their own, but internationally, the Forest Stewardship Council as well as the PEFC has accepted by all over the country. It is a chain of custody management system requirements. So what they will do? So the global issues are there. So because of this global issues only, the standards has been introduced. So illegal logging. So normally we used to say, example, I can quote one movie called, recently there was a movie, Allu Arjun. So movie was there. So it was talking more about the illegal logging. So people are, okay, they are welcoming the movie, but we should not take it the wrong way. So we can do these things, means we can get more money. Those things should not be an example. Change of land use to biofuels. If you take Indonesia, Malaysia, and what they're doing that, the people are moving towards cities. At the time, they need the space. So at the time, they're using the forest lands for their living. Otherwise, they're cutting the trees out of forest and using that for the biofuels like palm oil and also where they need the quick money. So if you, as per the standard, the FSC or PFC is saying that if you cut the tree, the next 20 years, we should not, after the replanting, should not cut the trees. But if you go for palm oil, within 18 months, they can take the yield. Soil destabilizations because of the cutting of the forest. Government people are taking the money and allowing people to go inside. Human and civil rights violations. People living around the forest and all, they depends on the byproducts of the forest only. Their lives are getting affected. The impact on the biodiversity. So if you see that some kind of species. If you take a soil, the soil will have some kind of oil. When the soil, when the tree grows, it will emit some kind of oil. That oil will be food for the insect. Insect is food for the birds or monkeys. Monkeys food for the lion and tigers. So when we disturb the species, when you are changing the species from one area to other areas, the oil will not be extinct. What will happen then? The insects will not get the food. So the food chain will also get affected. So deforestation, this is one of the major concerns now. So nearly 3.7 million hectares of tropical primary rainforest were lost in the 2021 alone. So that has resulted nearly 2.5 billion tons of carbon dioxide emissions, equivalent to the annual fossil fuel emissions of India and nearly 10 soccer pitches in it. So we lose around 10 million hectares of forest every single year. After that, so if you take the species, it will, if you take the North Pole or South Pole, will not be seen much. Very less will be there. But if you take the tropical areas, so we can say 60% of all plant fishes are found in the tropical forest only. Now, how they are, so when you see the sites, so they are collecting forestry council or they are collecting the finance. So how they are investing this finance to protecting the species like cheetah. In Namibia, FS Division is helping the cheetah conservation fund restore habitat for a vulnerable species. The king vultures thrive in the Utocan step into the forest of Ejido Novo Beckel to see how a small forest help protect one of the continent's largest and most threatened vulture species. So forests are home to the majority of the terrestrial wildlife and plant species. As such, responsible forestry is a fundamental tool to tackle biodiversity loss and safeguard a planet for future generations. So example, when they are going for certification, what is happening over there? You can see the forest, the certified forest. The forest will get certified. They'll see that the species, whatever is there, which is not disturbed. So from that, the certified material will come outside as the logs. So from the logs, it will go to the mill because if you see that forest will get the timber. Timber is, paper is also made of the timber. So it will be used for the furnitures as well as for the paper making. So then it will go to the mills, then it will go to the products, then it will go to the trader. Then we'll go to the printer or the far countries. So whenever we buy a product, if you see the Europe as well as UK, so you can see on all the products, we can see the logo of the FSC or PFC. It means it is coming from the certified, so they have the responsibility. So if there is the species changes that, there is risk of extinction is that, means these certifications will catch them. So recently it was happened for a Chinese companies mentioned in the FSC website itself. So they are selling the product where it was not certified. They don't have the FSC certification. They said that they are not having in products. So when they found these things, they will 8 years they ban from the FSC. So there will be huge penalty also will be there. Whenever we see a product, we have to ask as a public, we have to ask for the certified product. So we'll come to the conformance that these products are coming from a source where the species are not got affected. So when example, when constructing a 2,000 square feet at home, so we are buying nowadays, we are buying more homes and other things. So when you are building that, if you take a 2,400 square feet, we are going for build it, there are 2,000 species are getting affected. Like microorganisms, plants, small animals may lose their habitat and ultimately their lives. This happens due to the fragmentation. Tree, plants, and soil organisms are destroyed, disturbing the ecosystems. Loss of microhabitats like birds, insects, and small animals that depend on plants and soil, lose shelter and food sources. Soil displacement, digging and foundation work till underground organisms like worms, fungi, and microbes. The water imbalance, construction alters natural water drainage, harming amphibians and aquatic species nearby. Human impact, pollution, noise, and chemicals further degrade biodiversity. So while human development is necessary, sustainable building processes such as preserving trees, using eco-friendly materials, and creating green spaces can reduce biodiversity loss. So conclusion, call for that. So science is a crucial tool in the biodiversity conversions. So international cooperation is necessary. Everyone has a role to play in protecting the wildlife. So thank you for the opportunity. Again, thanks for the Srividhya and other teams.
Thank you, Mr. Premnath. It was a wonderful presentation. And I think you have covered almost all the points very clearly when it comes to the sites. As we all know, like today, a lot of takeaways are there. And definitely, like it's a convention of the international trade in endangered species of wild fauna and flora. And it's again an international agreement which aimed at regulating the global trade of endangered species. Thank you, sir. And with the objectives of regulating international trade, that is control on the trade of the endangered species across borders to prevent over-exploitation. Thank you. That was the key mention, which is actually highlighting the important threat which is being present in the environment. And also, it's not with the regulation, but also conserving these species, protecting the endangered species before they get extinct by regulating their trade. There is always a place for a man's need, but not for man's greed, isn't it? Thank you, sir. Thanks for that mention. And to the wise and sustainable use of these wild resources which we have. And of course, not to miss in the mention, the appendix that he had mentioned very clearly, and also the permits and the certificates which have been issued by to different countries to authorize the trade of the listed species, with the Monitoring and the Enforcement Act, which is being for the CITES regulations, with the benefits that if we do this, then what will happen? We'll be benefited with the parties of 184 countries having the ratified CITES, with international cooperation, which will foster cooperation among all the countries to combat this wildlife trafficking and to use these wildlife resources which are there amidst us and which will make our livelihoods in all the communities to live a more sustainable life. Thank you, sir. Definitely, CITES play a crucial role in protecting the endangered species and regulating the global wildlife trade. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And moving ahead, we are being joined by the chief guest slate, our keynote speaker, Mr. Pradeep Mahapatra, sir. Welcome, sir. Mr. Pradeep Mahapatra. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Am I audible? Am I audible to you, sir? Is the Wi-Fi connection is okay? Is fine with you now? Kindly unmute yourself, sir. I'm just checking on your Wi-Fi connection now. Mr. Pradeep Mahapatra? Okay, we lost him there again. I think so. I think we'll have to come back to him again. So moving ahead, please allow me to welcome Dr. Tanuja. Dr. Tanuja, ma'am, welcome. And ma'am is going to speak on CITES again. And allow me to introduce Tanuja ma'am as Assistant Professor of Sairam Engineering College, an experienced Associate Professor who has demonstrated history of working in education management, who is skilled in environmental science, and that's why ma'am is here, material science, and also medicinal, chemical, and physical chemistry with the combination of organic chemistry, who is very strong education professional with a doctor in philosophy, the PhD focusing on the organic chemistry and from Wales University. Also, he is associated well with UBA, IGEN, and UHP activities. Ma'am is also a CEO and founder of AGSAI Info, that is waste to wealth conversion, floral waste to viable products. I repeat again, waste to wealth conversion, floral waste to viable products. And that gives the answer why Tanuja ma'am is here today amidst us. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Srividhya. Always I'm motivated and encouraged by your words. So that is why I'm able to do more and more for our society. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You are our pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Shall I share my screen?
Yes. The screen is loading now, actually.
Yes, my screen is visible.
Visible? It is visible.
Yeah, I can go for the presentation.
Yeah. Yes. All good to go, ma'am? Thank you.
Yes. So, very good evening to all, everyone. It is an absolute honor to be here. My name is Tanuja Balasundram. I am excited to talk about one of the most important international agreements for wildlife conservation. Our earlier speaker, Dr. Prema, also talked about that. I would like to add upon some keynote speeches here. So as a flow of for my presentation, I will go on my slides. So the topic is the conversion on international trade in endangered species of wild fauna and flora. CITES it is called. This presentation will explore the role of CITES in regulating international wildlife and fauna and flora. It is called as CITES. So moving ahead on my slides, to understand the importance of CITES, it is a voluntary international agreement among 184 parties designed to regulate and control the trade of endangered wildlife species to prevent their extinction. It was drafted in 1963 by the International Union of Conservation of Nature, called IUCN, and came into force in 1975. The main purpose of CITES is to ensure the international trade in wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. The agreement is managed by the United Nations Environment Programme, called UNEP, and headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. The key decision-making bodies of CITES is a conference of the parties, COP, where member countries discuss and update the regulation. The last meeting was held in Johannesburg in 2016, and India hosted COP3 in 1981. So the CITES importance today. So this slide speak about the importance and why the species are more critical and crucial. So such as Asian elephant are facing threats due to the habitat destruction and illegal poaching. By enforcing strict regulation on the international trade, CITES plays a crucial role in conserving biodiversity and ensuring the future generations can benefit from the planet's rich natural heritage. It also helps in balancing the need of trade while protecting the species from overexploitation. So coming to the protection levels, CITES classify species into different protection levels based on the threat they face. Appendix 1, these species are the highest risk of extinctions, and international trade is prohibited except for non-commercial purposes such as scientific research. Examples include gorillas, turtles, and giant pandas. And in the Appendix 2, the species are not necessarily endangered but could become so if trade is not regulated. The trade is allowed but requires an export permit. Examples include lion, corals, and American ginseng. And coming to the Appendix 3, the species that are protected in at least one country and require international cooperation for conservation. The trade is regulated through permits issued by the country that requested the listing. Examples, map turtles, walrushes, and Cape stage beetles. And coming to the impact of illegal wildlife trade. So here are some of the slides I'm just skipping because it's already mentioned here. So coming to the impact of illegal wildlife trade on the endangered species, it is actually the biggest threats to the global biodiversity. It is estimated to be worth between $5 billion and $20 billion annually, and this trade leads to severe declines in wildlife populations, disrupts ecosystems, and also results in permanent species loss. For example, the trade of Vizina wool is now controlled under CITES, allowing local communities in South America to benefit economically while ensuring sustainable harvesting that supports conservation efforts. So, the CITES, that is, here I just want to add up some points. The keystone species, and their ecological roles. If the endangered species are not taken care, so we will be facing a very critical issues. Particularly we call that as a keynote species. Sorry, I'm repeatedly making a mistake. Keystone species. So what is a keystone species? It displays a crucial role in maintaining the ecological balance of the habitats. Let's few examples here. The wolf, which I mentioned in the slides, it is an Yellowstone National Park. Reintroduced in 1990s, wolf help regulate elk population, preventing overgrazing and improving the vegetation health. And the next one is a prairie dog in grassland. These animals create burrows that enhance the soil nutrients and promote plant diversity. And the shark in marine ecosystem. The shark in the marine ecosystem, as per the apex predators, shark regulate the marine food chain and preventing the overpopulation of prey species. And this is a zebra mussels. Through invasive, they filter water and influence the nutrient cycle, impacting an aquatic ecosystem. So, India, sorry, I think I have skipped the slides. So, India is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world, home to 7 to 8% of global species and 4 biodiversity hotspots. As part of science, India actually regulates wildlife traits and will proposes stronger protection for endangered species. So here, some of the key proposals by India and the sites include the Rosewood proposed for removal of Appendix 2 due to its fast growth and invasive nature elsewhere, and small clawed otters, smooth coated otters. India's star tortoise proposed to move from Appendix 2 to Appendix 1 for stricter protection, and Jiko and wedge fish proposed to Appendix 2 due to high trade demand. So with that, I come to conclusion. That is So, as Aldo Leopold, an American conservationist, once said, conservation is a state of harmony between man and the land. The sites play a fundamental role in regulating a trade and protecting endangered species. For 42 years, by maintaining a trade records over 12 million transactions, it supports sustainable resource use, conservation, and local development. It is all up to all us government conservationists and individuals to uphold these regulations and ensure a future where human and wildlife coexist in balance. So thank you for your time and caring about the wildlife conservations. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanuja ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation. Indeed, quite comprehensive. Very short, but short and brief, crisp, but really to the point. Thank you. Preeta ma'am, would you like to add on to it? Preeta ma'am? Do we have Preeta ma'am here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Tanuja ma'am, it was a wonderful presentation of your topic, and we were very glad to know that you are a CEO of Waste to Viable Products, and you can throw some light on that also. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, very pleasure to say about my that waste wealth. It is not mine, it is ours, because we are all belongs to one universe. That is the significance of this session also. So actually, I always fond of flowers. So I want to give life for the flowers. So in that, I chosen the flower waste to give some value to the flowers. So I make the flower waste into incense cups. So because most of the in many apart from the religious, all are fond of incense cups and sticks, the fragrance and its spirituality. So in that interest, I convert all the flower waste into these incense cups, agarbatti cups we call as, and also sticks. So now I got many customers. They are very fond of this because it is non-toxic and it is supporting our environment. It stops the landfills. 40% of the flower waste being dumped in the landfills is completely stopped. And not only that, it is a non-toxic, and we have tested everything. It is completely non-toxic and it is hygienic. Even the children, the smoke is harmless. So that is a hero of my company product, I can say. So that's all about this, and not only flower waste I'm concentrating, I'm also concentrating about the fruit waste and the leaf and the food waste, everything. So my concept, our company concept is to make a zero waste concept and make this universe very green and sustainability for our younger generation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Preeta ma'am. And
thank you, Tanuja ma'am, for throwing light on your products and flower waste to incense sticks and fruit waste, and you're planning for the fruit waste conversion and food waste conversion, and your company's motto is to maintain the zero waste. That is very much important to maintain a green planet. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Srividhya ma'am.
Thank you. It was quite comprehensive as such, and I was so engrossed with Tanuja ma'am's explanation, and so I got a little lost in between. Sorry. The key takeaways from Tanuja ma'am, which was not from the previous speaker, but highlighting on the appendix that ma'am was mentioning, that cites this species in 3 appendix that prohibits, that is appendix 1, which prohibits the commercial trade of threatened species like elephants and rhinos. Yes, very true, ma'am. Then the appendix 2, which regulates the trade of species that may become threatened, that is crocodiles and turtles. And last but not the least, the third appendix, which lists the species protected by the individual countries with the permissions and certificates which the countries issue to authorize trade of the listed species, and with the monitoring and the effort and enforcement which are responsible for the site's regulations as such. And with the current status, as Ma'am was mentioning, around about 184 countries are into this fold, and which has administered the United Nations Environment Program, that is UNEP. Very true, ma'am. Definitely, as Preeta ma'am was also mentioning, that nature is a painting for us day by day, picture after picture with infinite beauty. But it definitely, nature gives the music, but only for those who listen. So we need to open our ears and start listening to that wonderful music of the natural world, which is the greatest source of inspiration of art, literature, music, trade, economy, etc., etc., etc. Everything will fall in place, I think. And definitely the future of humanity depends on our ability to protect and preserve this natural world. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Tanuja ma'am. Thank you so much. Really, it was a wonderful presentation, but much required for the present world. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Well, I'm going back to Mr. Pradeep Mahapatra now. Mr. Pradeep? Mr. Pradeep? Pradeep ji? I think we lost him there. Okay, moving ahead. Can we move on to Dr. Shubha? May I request, yes. Can we invite Dr. Shubha to speak on the same topic, please? Thank you.
Vidula, are you here? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Subha, a dedicated academic from Srividhya Engineering College, India. She is passionate about agricultural sustainability and biodiversity conservation with a keen focus on global food security. Today, she will be discussing the International Treaty on Planet Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture, a crucial framework that promotes the conservation and sustainable use of planet genetic resources. She will shed light on how this treaty plays a vital role in addressing agricultural challenges, including climate change, pest and disease, while safeguarding the right of farmers and indigenous communities. Let's extend a warm welcome Ms. Shubha.
Dr. Shubha, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Vidya. I would like to express my gratitude for giving me the opportunity to discuss such important issues. My topic is the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. Actually, I chose this topic because it highlights incredible role that farmers, scientists, and then traders play in ensuring the food security across the world, and collaboration ensures the vital plant genetic resources are preserved and shared, so future generation can benefit from diverse and nutritious crops. So what is the main aims of this treaty? The farmers have been growing the different types of crops thousands of years, helping create the variety of food we have today. And next one is establishing the global system. They work the system that allows the farmers, scientists, plant breeders to share important plant materials. The sharing and helps improve the crops and food production around the world. And finally, they ensure the benefit sharing. So when people use the shared plant material, so they can create something useful, so new type of crop as well as the materials. And next one is, so the main thing is sustainable development paths. So over 1 billion people, they are suffering from hunger, and the population is expected to exceed 9 billion by 2050. So agricultural production must increase 70%. So we have to move on. The plant genetic resources are vital for improving the crop yields and tackling the climate change for future food security. And next one is an SDG. So SDG 2 preserving the plant genetic resources to improve the crop yields and reduce the hunger, and by aligning with SDG 15 by protecting the biodiversity and promoting the sustainable farming and conserving ecosystem. So these are the some technical terms of variety, executive collection, central origin, and so next one is storage treaty. First one is 2001, so adoption treaty, so especially for Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations. So main aim for this one, conservation and sustainable use of plant and genetic resources. So promote the sharing the benefits arising. And next one is here entry into force. So entry into force is June 29, 2024. So after receiving the ratification, so the countries are agreed to cooperate on preserving the plant genetic diversity that making accessible for food security. And Article 6, the MLS, multilateral system. So that was launched, enabling the member countries over the 64 key crops. Vital food security, this one is ensuring the benefit of sharing from the and next one is GSFN 2009. It's created the support projects that improve the farmers' access to plant genetic materials. And 2010 GRACIAS is promote exchange of knowledge and data on plant genetic resources. And 2009 is enhanced to benefit of sharing mechanism. So this one also what derived from the use of plant genetic materials. So this one is included updating rules, improve the transparency and accessibility. And 2020, this one is DSI, digital sequence information, focusing how to share benefits arising from genetic information stored in digital formats. And 2023, so this one is funding the global cooperation expansion. This new level of financial support is enabling the larger projects in mitigating and climate change agriculture through plant genetic resources. And this one is a future focus in 2025. This continues evolve, growing the focus, addressing again the climate impacts and integrating the new biotechnology, improving the conservation and accessibility of the plant genetic materials. So this one is to ensure the food security and uncertain global environment. Okay, so this one is indicates the status and challenge of conservation. So main thing is what? Agriculture faces a challenge, increasing the food demand, climate change, which require the more sustainable farming practice, and excessive pesticide use leads to the environmental damage, loss of biodiversity, and health risks, both humans as well as wildlife. Okay, so these are the issues. Okay, so that's the average temperature, it started to increases due to the climate change. Okay, so that one is quite the agriculture. And what is special about the genetic resources for food and agriculture? How this one is different from these resources means, so main objectives for this one, conservation and sustainable use. Okay, so this one is ensure the conservation and sustainable maintain the crop diversity and improve the food security and access benefit sharing. Okay, and especially this one is gives a clear idea regarding the farmers' rights, so to recognize the protect the contribution of farmers to plant diversity and ensure the receive the benefits and use of this type of resources. So beyond which the C is technology, finance, overseeing food security and adaptation to climate change. Okay, so here the farmers' rights include what? Protection of traditional knowledge and right to participate equally, benefit sharing in national decision making about the plant genetic resources. Okay. So this one is established in which one? This MLS system. So both facilitate in which one plant and then genetic resources, food and agriculture. So main thing this one is provide about 80% of our food from plants. Okay. So this one is what is the crop means. So international non-profit organizations, they decided to conserving and making the crop diversity available for the using globally. Okay, so this one is benefit for everyone. Okay, and so how they are doing is they collected seeds carefully. This is the first one. And the resort is creating duplicates. Why they are doing the duplicates means, so then stored in secure seed banks, and duplicates are made safeguard against risk, loss, damage, or environmental disasters. So by storing the multiple secure location and ensure the long-term protection of valuable genetic resources and guarantee the availability for future generation as well as it's moving to agricultural research also. Yes. So this one is your benefit. Okay, so this genetic resources no individual owner. So this also means what? You share and put in multi-layer way. So the next one is seeds on ice. How we are conserving this one. Okay, so this one is your small global seed wall located in Iceland. Switzerland. So this one is what Arctic Ocean, approximately 1,300 kilometers from North Pole. So main thing why they are choosing is this one is built deep inside mountain. It's helpful to protect the seeds and store the taking advantage of naturally cool and stable environment to ensure long-term preservation. Okay, so the main thing is what? So we need this type of the conservation facility. The thing is what? It acts as a safeguard against a natural disaster, wars, and other events also. So seed banks around the world. So this one is secure it. We can store it in which one? The duplicates of seeds in a remote and well-protected location. And this one is helps maintain the global food security. Okay, and this one is supports the research and biodiversity conservation of future generations. Okay, so how they are protecting these is like this. So there are millions of seeds from important crops in worldwide. They're helping the future generation. How the seeds are stored minus 80 degrees Celsius in 3 polyfoil package, and this one is placed in boxes. It's kept in the particular shells. Is the permafrost, the thick rock surrounding the wall maintain the freezing condition even without the power. Okay, low temperature and moisture levels ensure the seeds remain viable for long periods. This is the main advantage to this concept. Okay. Yeah. So this is the so another one thing is what? African rice. Okay, so here we can get an idea regarding in which one. Gene bank is over 21,000 accessories and sample distribution also 66,000 samples is distributed last 5 years. Okay, and these are the information we can get it from this website. And next one is your planting grant. So this one also agriculture research for and conservation. Main objectives of the gene bank also what? Gene bank safeguard the plant genetic resources. This one also breeding adaptation to environmental changes and ensuring the food security. So plant genetic resources for rural agriculture. Yeah, these are the list provided by PGF plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. And here we can, the 31,000 genetic samples and then 20,000 accessions. So it's available in the international scientific community through this steady multi-layer system, and 500 partners is involved in worldwide. So one case study is regarding in which this one, so how they converted in a 60 seed multiplication plot and 141 demonstrated plots. That one is established. And Vision 2025 includes expanding the multi-layer system by increasing number of crops and plant species covered. The goal is to promote increase to the beneficial sharing and more equitable distribution. So the key is focus enhancing the farmers' right and strengthening the legal frameworks. And this one is protect the traditional knowledge and seed rights also. Additionally, there is a commitment fostering the greater global cooperation to boost plant genetic resources support, climate change, and adaptation first. So, the conclusion, GT ensures the conservation of plant genetic resources. This one is safeguarding biodiversity for future generation, and this one is promotes the sustainable use of these resources, strengthen global and food security. So while facilitating the farm benefit sharing to encourage the cooperation and innovation. So by providing access of diverse genetic materials, it supports adaptation of climate change, very important, and ensuring the resilience for crops is contributing to long-term food security worldwide. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to present the G20 event for the
Thank you, Dr. K. Subha ma'am. And she has deliberated on the topic International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. And she has elaborated on the treaty and what this treaty aims, objectives, and how SDG is related to this topic. And she has clearly explained the two SDGs with the targets, SDG 2 and SDG 15, Zero Hunger and Life on Land, with the target, how it was related with this International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources, and key milestones of this treaty from 2001 to 2025. And what are the challenges facing in this treaty, and the major challenges are the production of the more food, production of the more nutritious food, climatic and zero land. And it is the chance to find out the land rare. And the treaty is a unique high-impact instrument for the farmers' right. And she has explained on an NGO, Crop Trust, which assure the treaty, and then seeds on ice and seed vault. It was very interesting for me. Seeds on ice to back up the seed, the Jenny Bank collection of the seeds for the foundation and the food supply, for strengthening the food supply. And why do we need a global seed vault? And it was very wonderful and eye-opening session for us to know more about how the seeds can be preserved, conserved, and sustained for the next generation. And seeds are stored at -18 degrees Celsius. And it was very interesting fact to know about how the seeds are stored. And she has explained how the seeds are stored and how seeds are packed, and how it is kept in frozen freezers. And case study was shown, and vision and goals of 2025. She has explained with the vision and goals. And as a conclusion, we have to ensure, we have to conserve our habitat, and we have to sustainably use these seeds, and we have to fairly benefit sharing with the farmers. And we have to adapt the climatic change and ensure the food security. Thank you, Subha ma'am, for this wonderful presentation on how to preserve the seed and about the International Treaty on the Plant Genetic Resources for the Food and Agriculture.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Both of you were really awesome. I have no words to say. And Subha ma'am has really taken she has stolen the show, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
She had a lot of inputs there, and definitely. Yes, Dr. Vasanti ma'am, please.
Thank you so much. In fact, I too found that I'm not from that background, but still, it was very, I'm getting curious actually when she said seeds are frozen, and before that, Dr. Tanuja spoke about how she's, making use of discarded flowers. And we have heard about, how it is creating a lot of pollution. And such information at this platform, I feel so blessed to be able to be part of this. In fact, listening to each of these presenters, it's only making me more motivated to enhance my knowledge on this biodiversity. In fact, I had just messaged you, Dr. Srividhya, if I could present a study. And it was quite a hectic week, but I did a little bit of literature survey, on the role of business, because that's my background in biodiversity conservation. And I observed that there are positive trends happening in the business line towards biodiversity conservation. In fact, I just, prepared a PPT, but I'm so sorry. I saw the poster and I knew I was too late to make a presentation. So I don't want to take much time now. If you permit, and if there is time in the end, I'll just share what I, went through through the literature survey. I found it a little interesting, maybe from my perspective. I can share it if you permit me, and if there is time.
Definitely, Dr. Vasanthi ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You request, which we place openly to Professor Charles, His Excellency. I think we are going to give you that time because he was the one who has to take over the show and conclude it. Before we conclude, I thought let us give this chance to you so that you can go ahead with your presentation. Sure.
Thank you so much. If there is time, I don't want to eat up.
The good time is now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. This was something, it's like, a gift. I feel these kind of things are, so much precious for me. Thank you so much. See, I did a little bit of literature survey on this role of business diversity on business and biodiversity conservation. And I saw that there is a lot of positive trend happening. I identified two, I'll just take that out. I won't share the PPT and all that, but I'll just, I want the names, that's why, because I'm not very familiar with the names of, there are two foreign, researchers who did it. It was a funded research, that's what I understand. And it was that they, I can talk about the summary, basically, like, they say, what I understand is biodiversity protection should be extended across all enterprises, large and small. It should not be focused only on the larger enterprises to focus, the responsibility should not be on them, because even in the previous session, when you're talking about, carbon conservation, carbon footprints, and so on, we were talking about, there was a lot of discussion that was happening last Sunday as well about conserving and selling of the carbon, basically carbon footprints. So the focus is usually on the huge or the bigger enterprises or corporates, and the smaller ones are usually not included. So as the study, the literature survey that I did, I found that many were talking about even the small enterprises also to be linked into this net zero and biodiversity, make them all responsible. That is what I could understand. And this could also mean that there's a higher financial investment by businesses to conform to biodiversity practices. When it comes to business, that is, replacing the present practices with biodiversity friendly practices is making it a little more expensive. And then the name of the, I got it. The name of the author is Asta Salami. That it's with a few others. This study was done in 2023. It is on biodiversity management, a supply chain practice view conducted in Finland and New Zealand. And it mentions how firms in these countries are adopting and developing biodiversity management practices. Very interesting study, how they are contributing to restoration and regeneration of biodiversity. They took around, 20 companies. And an example cited in the study, I'll just mention, a company which was carbon neutral and biodiversity positive have started labeling their product as nature positive. I found that very interesting because, customers, they say that customers did not always appreciate what carbon neutral meant. They just bought a product. Okay. So they changed the name, the label. I found that very interesting, because that is how we too are customers, and though we talk so much about all this, we tend to sideline sometimes things. And the third theme was refining raw materials and products which related to both inputs and outputs of that is firm or the logistics, supply chain, production. So the theme consists of two practices: favoring, this is what the businesses were doing, favoring certified, recycled, and or biodiversity supportive raw materials, and then developing and offering certified, recycled, and or biodiversity supportive products to customers. And the author revealed that some of the firms were also striving to ensure that their own products were getting certified, recyclable, and biodiversity supportive. And these firms were actively engaged in developing these alternative to current offerings. And this is where I was identifying that, through the study that was mentioned, or through other literature surveys, that they think that it is a little expensive, and that is the reason why many companies are not looking at it. And secondly is that the customers are not giving so much of weightage to that, and that's the reason this particular company changed the labeling itself. And another interesting one was they said about selecting suppliers based on capability to develop sustainable solutions. So these companies were really focusing on, these are a little top companies who are very much pertinent to following these the objectives that they have fixed for ensuring biodiversity. And they were preferring suppliers who could make an impact on biodiversity management, and they were also monitoring and auditing suppliers' biodiversity sustainable performance. And in short, nutshell, I can say that increasing disclosure and awareness, consisting of these interrelated practices like disclosing targets and progress in the biodiversity management, educating and raising customer awareness, and educating and raising distributor and retailer awareness, developing marketing messages, and when they win awards, they should be acknowledged for that, and they should also respond to public interest. It should not be, in the last session, they spoke about how, I'm not getting the word right now. It's about how false advertisements are given about companies following, certain practices, but they don't do it. I'm not getting the name now. I'm not able to recollect that. But those kind of things should not happen. And another interesting study was by one doctor. I just get that name. It is by Mr. Dr. Rajat Panwar. This study was also in 2023, Business and Biodiversity, Achieving the 2050 Vision for Biodiversity Conservation Through Transformative Business Practices. So that was the another, though I had so many, these two I felt I'll just share right now. The study emphasizes the need for effective public policy. So this was more like, how we can, the solution to all the problems, like how we can put it into practice, and equally substantive efforts by the private sector to help achieve the 2050 vision for biodiversity. And this study also mentioned that how it entails financial investments to enhance business practices, and a sector-focused approach to reduce business impacts on biodiversity. And the emphasis on, there were three key sectors that this study focused on, that is food, land, and ocean use. Like I heard even, and I was feeling like, oh, whatever I looked for, it is being justified by the previous speakers. The companies that are really working on it is Airbnb, then Amazon, then Burberry, I think Delta Airlines, H&M, Nestle, Starbucks, Walmart, Unilever, they said it was mentioned that all these are already very much engaged in this biodiversity conservation effort. So I'm sure, the chain is starting, the link will happen. And to bring in the selective business practices in this direction, like business for nature, nature capital protocol, I got to know about all these after doing this study. The science-based targets for nature, then World Business Council for Sustainable Development and the Task Force on Nature. All these are involved so much into doing this, and I really feel so happy to be part of, because of this, my knowledge about this, it was a very, very, very tiny bit. And every time each of the speakers are talking, I'm finding it so I'm feeling so overwhelmed that, I'm able to even identify areas where I can I do a little bit of research. So I'm finding places where I can, areas where I can take it forward. Thank you so much. It was really, today is Ugadi. It's considered to be the new year. I think this was my new year gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ria Williams. Thank you. Thank you for being so
enthusiastic
and emotional, and we can understand and relate that you're able to really, you're so overwhelmed in sharing.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Definitely.
We are able to relate to it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So taking it forward from Dr. Tanuja and Nina Williams ma'am, and also the Dr. Shubha. Dr. Shubha, yes, sir. So is that basically we are talking about taking care of plants and how to take care of them, and it's not that it's just simple food and agriculture that we're talking about. It's about every day in and out what is to be done. That's how we can contribute. We are talking about changes that can happen in the society, in the community. If at all we're talking about the change, we should be the change that we are looking forward to. That's what I think all the three ladies have really enforced and really mandated it over here in this conference. Thank you so much. So definitely the plant genetic resources for food and agriculture, it's again international treaty, which is otherwise called as ITPGRFA, that is International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resource for Food and Agriculture. It's again a global agreement that which aims to the conserving the sustainable use of the genetic resources of food and agriculture that we know, and with the main objectives on the conservation, that's conserving the plant genetic resources for food and agriculture with the sustainable use, promoting the use of sustainable use, and with access of benefit sharing and facilitating the process of benefit sharing fairly and equitably, with the key provisions on multilateral systems. That's the key thing that we need to take from this. Establishes a multilateral system for access and the benefit sharing of this plant genetic resources with the standardized material transfer agreement. That is, if you're going to do this, then it should be documented very clearly with the global information system that establishes the information which are being there, that can be in future laid into policies and procedures and SOPs, which can be evolved as a system, a proper system as strategies, with the benefits of the food security, with due respects to food security, contributing to the global food security by conserving it, and with the biodiversity conservation, which is adapting to the climatic change, with the current status of 146 countries have followed up this treaty according to UN report with the depository. And with that, definitely ITPGRFA plays a crucial role in promoting the conservation and sustainable use of the plant genetic resources, which are essential for the global food security and sustainable future. So definitely we are into that. As we mentioned, if at all we have one planet, it is the only planet that we have. So let us work on every single possible way of conserving, protecting it, not for others, but for our own use. There is selfishness in it. So let us do it and let's conserve it. Let's put our thoughts together. That's how we can take it further. On that note, please allow me to present His Excellency Professor Charles Thank you, sir. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a spirit of inspiration, encouragement, and whatnot. What I can say that he has been always very supportive. He is an educationist. He is a humanitarian. He is an insurance expert. Very little to say, definitely. And he has been with the community through and through in every single possible way, extending every single kind of support that we need from any corner of the world, or to anybody, that he is always there as a pillar of support and guidance. Thank you, sir. Thank you for making your presence here amidst us today. It's our privilege to have you here, definitely. And I know you will be very happy to speak about Biodiversity Liaison Group, the whole thing, summing it up as into one nutshell. Thank you. Over to you, sir. We would like to
thank you for meeting you. And Your Excellency, I thank God for every one of us present here. I enjoyed all the lectures given. I thank God for everyone, and I know the little I'm going to say, you'll be able to get it and utilize it very well. I have two dimensions I'm putting it. I'm in God's direction, and I'm going to put it in the worldly direction. Let me start with the God direction. God's covenants in Genesis chapter 9 is not only with humanity, but repeatedly includes all living creation of every kind on the earth. Genesis chapter 9, 8 to 17. Therefore, with the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, we see God's plan for redemption come to fulfillment. Biodiversity is seen as a testament of God's creation and wisdom, with the scripture passage emphasizing the value of all living things and the importance of stewardship over the earth. God bless the sky, the land, the sea with abundant and diverse life. Genesis chapter 1 verse 22. How many are your work, O Lord? In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of creatures. Psalm 107 verse 24. God made all things and hold all things together through our Lord Jesus Christ. God blesses them to say and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish in the sea and the bird in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Genesis chapter 1 verse 28. And God also said, excessive human use of biodiversity is a form of rebellion against God. Romans chapter 1 verse 20. Therefore, in the same Genesis chapter 2 verse 15 said, God commissioned men to tend and keep his environment. And who are these men? They are the stewards of the creation. They are the biodiversity liaison group. This is all what the topic is saying. But let me look at it, the other area of the world. We look at biodiversity is our strong natural defense against climate change. Our strong natural defense against climate change. The earth, land, and the ocean serve as natural carbon sink, absorbing large amounts of greenhouse gas emissions. Nature, with its diverse ecosystem, like forests, like wetlands, and like ocean, act as a powerful natural defense against climate change, absorbing carbon, mitigating floods, and providing essential resources. It is worth knowing the following analysis so as to buttress this our topic, like the carbon sequestration and also the flood mitigation, like the water purification and the air quality. We also look at the biodiversity and the ecosystem services. What we actually mean by the word flood mitigation, mitigation comes as a result of the flood plains and the wetlands, which naturally absorb excess water during storm, protecting the community from flooding. Further downstream, in the area of restoration efforts, this natural system can help protect against future flooding. Water purification and air quality should be taken into consideration since wetlands along river banks remove pollutants from the water, helping to purify water resources. Urban trees is necessary because trees in city can cool local air temperature during heat waves, during mitigating and the urban heat island effects. While in the area of carbon sequestration, it is worth knowing to use the ecosystem as carbon sink, because the land and the ocean are naturally carbon sink, absorbing large amount of greenhouse gas emissions. The forest and the tree and the soil store massive amount of carbon, acting as a natural buffer against rising atmospheric CO2 level. The wetland in particular holds significant portion of the world's soil carbon, and their restoration could significantly reduce agricultural greenhouse gas emission. The mangroves and the coral reef are also important carbon sink and act as a natural barrier against coastal erosion and storm surge. It is worth knowing that the biodiversity and the ecosystem plays a great role, since biodiversity is very crucial. The variety of life on Earth, including plant, animal, and microorganisms, is essential for a stable climate and provide a wide range of ecosystem services. Threatening ecosystem, because many ecosystems like the rainforest are facing threats from deforestation and other human activities, which can turn them from carbon sink into carbon sources. Fighting climate change and natural loss are interconnection challenges, and addressing one requires addressing the other. Therefore, it is paramount that we are concerned about the diversity liaison group, the BLG. The variety of the all living things and their interaction is called biodiversity. E.g., the plant, the animal. Biodiversity changes over time as extinction occur and new species evolve. Scientists often speak of 3 levels of diversity, which are the species diversity, the genetic diversity, and the ecosystem diversity. These are the 3 groups of biodiversity, without referring to functional diversity and phylogenetic diversity. Note, all the biodiversity are essential for ecological balance and human well-being. Ecological diversity on a global scale could be the variation in ecosystem, such as the desert, the forest, the greenland, as earlier said, the wetlands, and the ocean. Ecological diversity is the largest scale of biodiversity and within each ecosystem.
I think we have lost Professor Charleston. Professor? Professor? Thank you, Professor. That was really very kind of you for giving an overall summary of exactly the biodiversity and its implications in the nature. And as you rightly mentioned, you are rightly mentioning, rather, the Biodiversity Liaison Group is an informal group that facilitate the collaboration and coordination among all the biodiversity related conventions. So far, we have seen all these conventions and the organizations. So the members, they are categorically categorized into CBD, that is Convention of Biological Diversity, CMS for Convention of Migratory Species, CITES, it's basically a convention on international trade of endangered species of wild fauna and flora. IPES, that is Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. Ramsar Convention, that is Convention on Wetlands. and Food and Agriculture, FAO, its Organization of the United Nations rather, with the key objectives to enhance cooperation, foster cooperation and coordination among all the member organizations, avoid duplications of all the efforts and activities, and to promote synergies to complementaries of the member organizations as well. So the activities that include there are regular meetings, to hold regular meetings to discuss the common issues and to arrive at some remedials if possible and the restoration processes. But all these things come with the pre-information that is being shared. So sharing information, sharing knowledge, sharing best practices among the member organization is the main thing, that is preliminary thing that happens. Then with the restoration process, the joint activities for collaborations on the projects that is being invoked, and with improved coordination and cooperation among the biodiversity related conventions and organization, with increased efficiency such that there is no duplication of these efforts which are being there, and with a very key responsibility of conserving the resources with stronger partnerships, fostering stronger partnerships and collaboration among the member organization. Thus, this BLG plays a very crucial role in promoting coordination, cooperation, synergy among all these biodiversity related convention organizations, ultimately contributing to more effective conservation and sustainable uses of this biodiversity. So as we all know, the clearest way to the universe is through this forest wilderness. So in every walk with the nature, one receives more than what he seeks. And definitely biodiversity is the living fabric of our planet. The loss of biodiversity is definitely a silent killer, and it's happening right under our nose. So we must recognize the intrinsic value of this biodiversity and treat it with respect and care, the most care that it deserves. So nature world is the greatest source of inspiration for all of us. By saving biodiversity, we are saving ourselves. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful note. Moving ahead, the session is open to the floor now. So it's jam. It's just a minute for each one of us who was here with us. We start with Professor Jelena Bošković. Yes, ma'am. Your insights of the session and the whole topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, dear experts, dear professor, scientists. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. International organization. Thank you, organizer. Is important. International Conference Biodiversity. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the attention. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, my friends.
So, moving ahead, Dr. Williams. Vasanti Reena Williams. Dr. Vasanti Reena Williams. Yes, ma'am.
To unmute myself. Yeah, I am so overwhelmed, as you can see. I am so happy that I'm able to learn something, and I can include it in my lessons when I'm teaching my students. There's so much of interdepartmental activities happening across all verticals, and as I mentioned earlier, I come from the management stream, so I'm finding newer and newer ways in which we can include ourselves into this, rather than just the three important verticals, that is HR, marketing, and finance. So there is so much. We have analytics now, but then we understand that it's not just part of that. There is so much that businesses can do, not just looking into the profitability through talking about organic produce, lessening the amount of artificial consumption of artificial products, coming up with the things which are not natural, and going back to what our forefathers did. for a living. I think the evolution is happening that way. Awareness is happening across. As one of the speakers said, it is not just the human. We are not just looking at the human species that needs to be protected. If we need to be protected, we have to ensure that the animal life, the water, life in the ocean, and also the microorganisms. I heard that need to be protected. And there was so much of every time I came in, I had this opportunity to. It was sudden, I mean, I was asked to just join last week, and I feel like I shouldn't miss out any further future. Programs that you're organizing, Dr. Srividhya, please do post it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, thank you so much. Yes, we lost Professor, His Excellency Charles. Please, sir. I took over, I concluded it because we thought that we lost you in the session. Please. It's a jam session, just a minute to conclude. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Charles.
Just like I was saying, actually biodiversity is very important because it is the essential for the processes that support all life on earth, including humans. And without a wide range of animals, plants, and microorganisms, we cannot have the healthy ecosystem that we rely on to provide us with the air, with the bread, and the food we eat. How do we save biodiversity? We should support local and regional projects aimed at tackling biodiversity loss. By so doing, buying fewer products, making sure that products you do buy minimize the impact on the biodiversity. Investing in ways to promote biodiversity and also reducing waste of consumed goods, clothes, food, and electrical appliances. We benefit from biodiversity for our survival, such as for the food we eat, medicine we use to stay healthy, and material we wear and use to build our homes. These services are the tangible products and ideas and items that we and other species consume for survival. We should do to fight biodiversity loss. What should we do? 1, plant local flowers, fruits, and vegetables. Respect local habitats. Know the source of anything you are doing or buying. Take shorter showers. Save the bees and support local firms. Group of biodiversity. These are the Legion group. What are they? We have a genetic biodiversity, species biodiversity, and economic system biodiversity. It was formed in June 2004 and they meet regularly to explore opportunities by activities they do, by increasing coordination and exchange of information. What are their roles? There are 3 roles. They place making agricultural production, nutrition, and resilience, and meet some of the rural people doing part of the projects. They do that. Thank also, you so much, that.
Very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry for interrupting. Well, I told you, the jam session, it's just a minute for each and everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for those valuable insights. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Seva, please.
Yeah, it's for me to involve in this discussion before. So I thought about different parts of the world, experts from different parts of the world. And instead of ourselves talking about this kind of thing, we have to educate our younger generation to follow certain things. So to create awareness. For example, in our institution, we have certain clubs like Eco clubs we have, and Yoga club, that is Youth Under Green Awareness. So these clubs will help the younger generation to create some awareness regarding this sustainable environment and certain topics. So I request all academicians who are available here at least start some certain clubs, because students will be busy in their academics, so they won't be getting involved in these activities. if we have these kind of clubs, we can involve these students, and they are going to become the future. So they have to have good knowledge about these kind of stuffs regarding biodiversity, so that we can expect the goal to be reached.
Well noted, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very key point to be noted. Thank you. I could see Dr. Kabir. Dr. Kabir, would you like to say a few words? Yeah, we can go to Tanuja ma'am. Yes, Tanuja ma'am, please.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this universe is not meant only for the human beings, starting from single cell organism, microorganisms to the multicellular organism. The universe is common, so we have to maintain the ecological balance. One point I just want to add about the ESG, that is environment, social governance. Now, today's all the top companies, they are following this ESG, that is called BRSR, that is business responsibility, sustainable responsibility. Earlier it was like CSR initiatives. Now it is turned out to the ESG. So in our institutions also we are following the same. I just only told about the flower-based conversion. I request all the higher education institutions to follow such kind of social, there is this kind of ESG initiatives in their campuses, and also that can motivate the students so that our universe will be protected, and the real the one planet, one cabinet, that will be more successful. That's what I want to add.
So we are going to have one more session for the young ambassadors very soon. And this definitely will have it. And so that we'll have more and more participation for the younger generation. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Now, Vidula. Everybody is talking about younger generation. So now it's time for Vidula to say a few words about the session and the topic.
Yes, ma'am. As the youngest participant in the esteemed gathering, I feel honored to have been such a part of high-full discussions. This discussion not only deepened our understanding of crucial global issues, but also has inspired us to make the meaningful action. Learning from such distinguished experts, I have the privilege, and I hope I can carry forward these values, insights in my journey ahead. Thank you for the incredible journey. I loved the experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidula. Thank you so much. And so here we are here to conclude today's session, saying that as everybody is so feels so dear to the earth, and the earth is what we have in common, because anything that we can relate as human beings, we may be different by birth or country or origin or where we live or the time duration, anything, but we have one thing in common, that is the planet Earth. That is what the G20 One Planet Cabinet is all about. So let's look deep into the Earth, and now we will understand everything better with this platform, with this confluence where people have just come up with their own ideas to leave the world better, that we have found it, and sometimes people pick it from the people's trash, as Tanuja was mentioning. How to make use of the trash is not that nature doesn't hurry, yet everything is accomplished, and sun doesn't forget a village if it's small. So every single small thing is a pearl drop in the ocean. Every single small contribution, it adds up to the big thing, and the world is definitely wonderful, and it is our planet, our dear planet, which is definitely so dear to us, and with all the nature, and we are here only to protect it and to take care of it, such that because we want Earth to take care of us, so we need to take care of the Earth in return, such that so let's put our heart and mind soul together. Today is the beginning, and let's start doing it. Let's all start bringing up this change to and through, such that we are able to make a difference in the society, starting from ourselves. So let's, if at all the change has to happen, it has to happen from us. So what we do today is going to contribute to the change. So that's why we are here. So thanks for that beautiful 3 hours that we have spent today. And definitely with this moments of sharing thoughtfulness, insights, and inferences, experiences, good practices, whichever way that we call it. And we are all here gathered on this platform with one thought, that my Earth is so dear to me, and I'm going to do anything that will really save my Earth planet. to make it a better place to live in. On that note, we conclude today's session. Please allow me to share my screen now. Kindly bear with me because this is a convention that we follow here, that we tell people about exactly our forthcoming sessions. Moving ahead, I'll go a little faster. Kindly excuse me for that. And so today we started the session with renewable energy. Renewable energy powering the safe future. That was the first session. Then we spoke about climatic adaptation. We have already spoken about climatic finance and the road to net zero. Today is the fifth session, that's on the biodiversity. The next one, following one, is the loss and damage, a moral imperative to act. So how we are going to contribute, that's what we are going to discuss more in detail. Moving ahead, so with that we have covered the planet. That is, as I told you, our focus is on P, that is planet, P, prosperity, and the people. So with the next session, the next week session, we are covering loss and damage, a moral imperative to act. All those concerned about the planet is over. Now coming to the prosperity point of it, digitalization and innovation will be the following topic, which will be followed by entrepreneurship and MSME, and a global financial architecture with international growth, with international taxation will be the following week, such that celebrating the world's heritage of culture and tourism with one health quadriplet. And the last three are focusing on the people now, with Education 360, empowering to lead that one planet, with Shakti Spectrum, that is women empowerment, Yuga Go Global, that is for the youth empowerment. Last but not the least, engage and explore and enhance the planet for Earth for a sustainable living, such that we will be contributing to Addis Ababa AAAA action, Addis Ababa action agenda. So with that, we come to the end of the session today. I really enjoyed being here today because every single speaker had really had a lot of experience and a lot of insights to share, and there are a lot of takeaways. With all your good support, I think we will be able to proceed further, and we'll have a very flamboyant concluding ceremony of G20 International One Planet Cabinet. And I could see that I have related my passion just because I'm doing it. I started this initiative with this company, saying that with a lot of passion to it. And today, many are sailing with me with the same kind of passion, with same kind of relatability. So I'm so very thankful for each one of you for your contribution. Without your support, it will not be done. It would not have happened. So on this note, please allow me to thank our community partners, GSFN Global Sustainable Futures, Internship University. When we talk about GSFN, definitely there is a mention for Dr. Renuka Thakur, and IAU International Internship University with Dr. Piyush Pandit, Dr. Virginia Rivera, and R&D Creativity University, Dr. Vijay Kumar Salvia, and IGEN Institution of Green Engineers with Dr. Ramesh. Good Vision Seva Trust with due respects to former Minister Shri Manu Thangaraj sir, and again Amity University with Dr. Vijay Kumar Shuklaji and Vinod Kumar Shuklaji, and and Sairam Group of Institutions with Shri Shivakumarji. Sairam Group of Institutions with Dr. Tanira ma'am and the lead over here, and the CEO Dr. Ren be there in the mention. Thank you, sir. And Dr. MGR Education Research Institute. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thanks for all your help and your guidance. And Sri Eshwar College of Engineering. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And St. Xavier's College of Engineering, Eshwari College of Engineering, Jelena Institute of Engineering, GRACIAS Legacy Foundation, Global Sustainable Futures once again, and Global Foundation for Peace, and Universal Human Values, and the Greenbrigade. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the community partners and those beautiful speakers who have really thrown the light upon us. Thank you for enlightening us with your knowledge, with your support, and with your sweet smile and that love that we always cherish. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So until we meet again next Sunday, our topic is Way Forward, Pathway Forward. Thank you. It's Barbara from Srividhya. A big thanks to Vidula, the host for today. Thank you. As we always promote younger generation, we want to have the younger generation to come and lead and take it forward, such that they are only as facilitators as they will be taking it over. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well done. Well done. Good job, Jelena. Thank you so much. Thanks. Big thanks to our mentor, Dr. Srividhya. Thank you. Thank you, His Excellency. Thank you, Elena ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kabir. Thanks for being your support as always. Thank you. Without you,
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Yes, good night. And last but not the least, our backstage heroes. If I don't mention them, then God will not forgive me. So, Niranjan and Kapilan, thank you. We owe a big thanks to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and greetings from Uganda.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.